Hello, welcome back to Confident Conversations, and this is the first one recorded in 2024. And I thought it was only right to talk about the 2024 plans that we have. So, first of all, I want to say a big Happy New Year to all of you, and thank you so much for being on this journey with me. When I first started this podcast, I didn't really have a vision for it. It was more of a replacement for my Instagram lives that I was doing at the time. And I think I was relying too much on my Instagram lives and that sort of quality. Um, and and I've heard this video go around saying 2023 was the test of 2024 is the year that I go for it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for it in 2024. Now, I've got amazing plans, huge plans, big guests for this year. And if I'm being honest, doing solo podcasts is not something that I've become comfortable with yet. It's something that I'm still getting used to. It's something that I haven't really adapted to fully. But it's okay. It's a part of life, and it's something that I've got to get used to, and something that I have to learn to do if I want to be a real podcaster. It's just a part of life. But I'm excited for this year. I'm trying to get 3 to 4 episodes a month. I'm trying to be more consistent, trying to get ahead of the game. I've already got a few episodes recorded, which I'm very excited about releasing. But if I'm being honest, I have to up my game. I have to up my levels. I have to improve my quality of conversations and actually have conversations that are meaningful and make an impact. The people that I have are going to be amazing. The people that I'm gonna have their own stories, have their own journeys. But the bottom line is, I can't rely on having the same people over and over and over again. Because I think that's going to be it's going to be the same story over and over again. Right now, I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying where I am. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm going to be expanding out a little bit with my guests and trying to reach out to new potential people. So in the coming few months, hopefully you'll see a new range of guests, which I'm excited to show you, hear the stories here, hear how they got to where they are. Yes, we all have this same sort of a journey where we struggle, but everyone struggles. And I think that's one thing that I've learned. Everyone is the same in the sense that they struggle, but not everyone's the same in the way that they deal with their struggles. Not everyone's the same with how they deal with what they do and deal with their journeys. And that's okay. People react differently. So yeah, for 2024, I'm excited, as I've been saying. This journey that I'm on, it wasn't meant to be a big journey with the podcast, but along the way, I've loved it. I've learned to enjoy it. It's become my bread and butter. And if I'm being honest, I feel like this is what I was meant to do. This is something that I'm good at. The people that are coming on are absolutely amazing, and I think that's what sets this podcast apart from the others is I have a relationship with the guests. I get to know my guests, and if I'm being honest, getting to know them on a personal basis and sort of going, hey, how are you? What's your life been like? What have you been doing? So we had Lissy a couple of weeks ago who I didn't really know her story, but I knew her music, I knew her guitar playing, I knew her from Friends of Friends, and honestly her story really did touch me. To to the point where I was excited to have the conversation with her. Um, I think this year I want to show a little bit more emotion, like I did with Lissy. I did that with Ocho Garcia as well. Um, and the reason I'm saying I want to show emotion is because it becomes relatable. It becomes something that people are hit by. So I could tell you many emotional stories, but if there's no context behind the story, then it's just a story. But if there's context behind the story and sort of you get the reason why I'm telling you, it's it's something that that impacts you differently. Um, so you're gonna hear a lot of stories from me that might make me a little bit emotional. Um, you will get a lot of fun stories about conspiracies, as we did with Tiff last week. Um, I love having conversations about anything, and I was having a conversation yesterday with a potential interviewer, and I sort of mentioned that I was doing podcasting, and what I said was, look, I've got my podcast, and it's more about giving people a space to have conversations, to speak about what's on their mind, to have these conversations that people don't realize they need to have, to help people realize that we are all human and we all struggle. Whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you have 1 million followers, whether you have one follower, whether you're on social media or whether you're not, we all struggle. And it's not about how you struggle, but it's about how you deal with the struggle. It's about speaking out. It's about having these conversations. It's about making sure that these conversations are not affecting your life. So something that I haven't really touched on is the Colombian government, because I don't know much about it. I know bits and bobs, and I've seen the videos, I've seen the documentaries, but I don't know enough to speak about it. Religion is another one that I don't really speak about, because again, I don't know much about religion. I'm not a religious person. Yes, I am closer to God. Recently, I'm closer to God. Recently, I've had my connection, but I wouldn't consider myself religious. I just consider myself as a believer of God. Um, I don't touch on political views. I don't touch on these things because I don't know enough about them. But something that I will touch on is, sexual assaults, because I've seen it. I've seen bullying. I've seen discrimination, and it's still happening now. I've seen inequality. I am all about the inspiration and empowerment from women. That's something that I've always stood by. And honestly, this is why I think this is one of the reasons that I actually have a lot of women on here. It's because I believe in female empowerment, but something that I need to do is branch out a little bit, not just from having females on here or the Latin community, but having people with disabilities, having people with, um, you know, mental illnesses, having people with that struggle, have people with careers, have people who have been in prison, and for me, it's never been about, oh, I want to have clout, I want to have the chases. For me, it's about opening a space and just going, you know what, I want to give you a space where you can tell your story, where you can say things that you haven't really told anyone before, and feel like you've got a weight on your shoulders. I think for me that's such a huge thing for me. So for me, one of my goals, one of my future goals even, is to open a gym. And the reason that's so important to me is because there's not a lot of gyms out there for people with disabilities. There's not a lot of gyms out there that have that, that have that facility of going, you know what, we wanna reach out to people with disabilities and say, here is a place where you can work out without any fear of, you're gonna get judged in the gym if you have a disability. That's just the way people feel when you go in there. Whether you're overweight, whether you're skinny, whether you have a disability, whether you can't lift as heavy, you always go in there feeling like you're gonna get judged, and that's something that I want to not fix, but I want to sort of help. I want to help people that feel like they struggle to go places and be accepted. Um, for me, when I started going to gym, I felt very, very self-conscious about, I can't lift this heavy. Maybe I can't do this. Maybe I can't run as fast. I'm being watched. Maybe people are gonna judge me for having a disability and being in the gym. It was the same with boxing. And yes, it's an obstacle and it's a hurdle that you overcome. But what if you could have somewhere that you'd go in and you wouldn't have that judgment. You wouldn't have that feeling of, oh my God, am I gonna get judged as soon as I get in here? Am I gonna be laughed at for being overweight? Am I gonna be laughed at for not being able to lift as heavy? And that's a problem in the UK, and I think it's gonna be a problem in many, many places, but I think that's a solution that we can sort of fix and find and try to work with. And I think for me, 2024 isn't just about consistency. It's not just about growth, but it's actually about reaching my targets, reaching my goals, not being lazy, and being more consistent, actively searching, actively trying to do new things. And I think for me, that's such an important thing, just because I know what it feels like to not have any hope. I know what it feels like to be in a place where you feel judged, you feel like you're not gonna be enough, like you're gonna get laughed at, like you're gonna get discriminated. I'm not the slimmest guy in the world. Number one, I've got my story, I've got my struggles, I've got my disability. But that has never really stopped me from achieving my goals in the recent past. But if I speak 10, 20 years ago, I was struggling a lot. I didn't realize how much I was struggling. I didn't realize what I was doing. I was stopping myself from doing things that I love because self-consciously I was going, yeah, I can't do that. I've got a disability. Yeah, I can't do that. Maybe I can't do that because of so and so reasons. But now I'm in the position where I'll try something and I'll be like, maybe I could do that. Or maybe I'll see something. So if I go back to the case of boxing, when I started because I got rejected. And for me, that was a big kick in the arse. And I was like, oh, that's going to hurt me. It was a kick in the guts. And I felt bad. But as soon as I got into it, I was like, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can get better. And I'll tell you, the first session, I felt sick. And I'm going to have my coach on soon. But that first session that I had, I was like, I can't do this. I feel physically sick. And I'm sweating like I've never sweated before. But with the time, as time went on, I got better and better. And I started enjoying it. I could see my potential. And I started envisioning what I could do with boxing, what I could do with what I wanted. And that's the beauty of it, I think. I think when you start something without a real vision, just doing it for fun, enjoying yourself, doing something that you're passionate about, it becomes something that yes, it can turn into a career. And I think that's the same with podcasting for me. Boxing, I wanted to do it as, maybe 2 or 3 fights. I could see myself fighting on Misfits. I could see myself fighting a potential Deji, a potential Joella. But unfortunately, as I've said, that got taken away from me. But it led me to this. It led me to podcasting. And honestly, I couldn't be grateful for it. I couldn't be more grateful for the fact that I'm here doing something that I love, doing something that started out as something that I just wanted to see how good I could become at it. And now, like I said, this is my bread and butter. This year I'm trying to get 3 to 4 episodes, as I said, but I want to make them impactful. I don't want to post just for the sake of posting. I don't want to do something just for the sake of it. I want to make this podcast as big as possible. Make it as amazing as I can. Grow it to the highest potential. It's something that I can see doing. I can see myself doing long term. But 2024, guys, it's definitely the year. I'm not gonna lie, this year will be tough. It's gonna be an amazing year, but it's gonna be a tough one. I've got so many plans, and I'm excited to do them as I go. There's so many things that I've wanted to achieve for the past 3 years, but this is the closest that I've ever felt to my goals. This is the closest I've ever felt to actually achieving something that I've wanted to achieve for such a long time. And for me, this is what I'm talking about. This is something that I can do, and I believe in myself. I believe in my source. I believe in my ability to do this. Whereas before, I was sort of just trying to look for my purpose. Yes, I could have said, this is my purpose, and that is my purpose. And at the time, it might have been my purpose. It might have been just the stage that I was going through, but now I'm sort of fully focused on the podcasting scene. I'm fully focused on what I can do and have these conversations. And actually, if I think back, being a life coach, being a motivational speaker, being an author, it's all helped me become a better podcaster. Doing Instagram lives, having these conversations, it's helped me become a better podcaster and a better person. I enjoy these conversations. I enjoy, being here and being like, oh, okay, let's talk to you. And I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy having conversations. I enjoy getting to know people, and I enjoy getting to know about their lives and the struggles, because what someone may not see as a struggle, you may, and what you may see as a struggle, someone might be like, it's I've dealt with it before, and this is how I've dealt with it. Because everyone is different. Everyone has their own purpose. Everyone has their own goals. Everyone has their own struggles. But the way they deal with it is what sets them apart. And I think that's what my whole message for 2024 is. Everyone has a struggle. Everyone has a problem, has troubles. But it's how you deal with it that sets you apart. It's not giving up. It's not quitting. And I think I've shown that for the past 31 years now, that I don't quit and I don't give up that easily. And every time I get knocked down, I will get back up. I will try again. I am going to push my limits. I I've got a few things happening this year which are definitely going to test me. But I'm gonna bring you along for the ride. Um, this podcast, by the way, is now available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. I'm trying to be more consistent on all platforms. Um, TikTok is now my main sort of goal this year. I've been on Instagram for the last 3 years, for almost 4 years, and honestly, I've neglected TikTok enough. So I think TikTok is my main priority this year. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens this year. I'm excited for the conversations, the guests. I'm passionate about taking this to the next level. Like I said, I've got amazing guests coming on this year. I've got amazing people coming on. Some people you may be surprised with, some people you may not. But I think what makes it different is this year I'm going all out to make sure that number one, I'm consistent. Number two, the quality's up there. Number three, I'm gonna be successful, and that is a promise. I'm not getting more excuses. I think at the end of 2023, I was in a lot of pain, but I made no excuses. I still came to the studio. I still showed up. I still came in, no matter how cold it was, how much pain I was in, how much arthritis I've had. I am still showing up, and I'm not quitting. And I think that's the beauty of learning that every obstacle is meant to be there, and it's possible to overcome. It's so easy to give up, and it's so easy to go, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. And this is just in my perspective and in my case. I could have given up many times, but I'm still here fighting on. I'm still here trying not to give up and trying to push on and persevere. I'm here to, sorry, I was my belly. I'm here to showcase what I can do, and I ain't afraid of the obstacles. I'm not afraid to face the devil. I'm not afraid to fall a couple of times, because every time I will get back up, and that is a absolute promise. I am not here to fail. I'm here to succeed and succeed only. People say without failure, there is no success. I don't believe that. I believe without failure, you don't learn, and without learning, you don't succeed. So is failure really there, or is it just a lesson? You tell me. But anyway, guys, I am off. This was a very short podcast. Hopefully for next week, I will have an amazing guest on. I'm still trying to work things out, but have a happy new year. This is going to be an amazing year. This is going to be such an incredible 2024, successful, joyful, a lot of happiness to all of you, and let's go get our goals. There's no room for error. There's no room for doubt, and there's no room to let that obstacles win. Let's go get the win. Let's go get that victory.